music. Yeah. There we go.
Well, well, well.
Ooh. Hey.
Ah, man, boys. Four
Mm-hmm.
more teams gone. Four more teams gone. Smell oblivion. Conference finals. Aluminum on both sides. Four teams crying. Good evening. Welcome to the report. Brothers. Good evening.
What's up? Good
Lone Wolf.
evening.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Good evening.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Good evening to all the YouTube and Facebook fans that's out there. We have a double header for you. So tonight we're gonna cover the NBA and the NHL playoffs. We had the conference final. The conference finals are the semis is concluded in the NHL too, right?
Not yet. It's about to be pretty soon. Right now, as we speak, Florida's up 3-0 on Toronto.
Oh,
Okay.
Second,
baby.
late second period.
Okay. So right now we got conference final going on in the NHL, but in the NBA the semifinals is done. We're about to go to the conference finals, so we're gonna talk about that tonight. Talk about the NHL tonight, and then tomorrow, I know everybody been talking about the NFL schedule. So tomorrow, for your viewing pleasure, we are going to come back on and we are going to talk about nothing but the NFL schedule release. What teams have hard schedule. What team we think might make a run this year? Yeah, the Eagles possibly have a chance to repeat. Will a new team come out of the ashes and become a playoff team? We're going to talk about all of that tomorrow in itself. But first, gentlemen, let's get it started and let's talk about these conference finals that happen. In the NBA, let's start with the Indiana Pacers. They went ahead and took care of Cleveland in 5 games. They took care of the Bucks also in 5 games. They're probably the most rested team out of everybody because they've beat their first two opponents in a week and a half.
Right.
So um I'll give you David your thoughts on the Cleveland Indiana series.
Kudos to the Pacers. Number one, kudos to the Pacers. Outplaying them. You know, Cleveland had a lot. The reason why Cleveland lost that series is because of health reason. You know, you had too many people injured, too many key people injured and stuff like that. When you got Darius Garland who could give you extra 20 points, and Evelyn Mobley who's the defensive player of the year this year as we speaking and everything, but he was all banged up. When you got two key people on your offense, in your starting five that plays their parts on for the team injured, it takes a dapper on on them against Indiana or a team like Indiana. Indiana is young, they fast, and most of all they're athletic. So kudos to the Pacers for doing the unthinkable. Because a lot of people was sitting there thinking Cleveland was going to go to the NBA Finals this year.
This is the reason why Cleveland lost the series. And I'll preach it before and I'll preach it again. Bench help. When you don't have a decent bench, a good bench that will give you 20 or 30 points combined off the bench, most likely going to lose game. Excuse me for a moment. That, and let's face it, when Cleveland swept Miami in 4, the rust came in for 1. And the difference is they thought that Indiana was going to play almost similar to Miami, but we all know that Indiana is all gas, no brakes. That's who they are. That's how they lose. That's how they lose series. So, to me personally, when you don't have a bench that will help you out, give you 20 or 30 points combined, you will lose the game and potentially lose the series.
I give props to Donovan because Donovan fought his ass off. But that game 5, we clearly saw that he wasn't 100%, and that probably was the death blow that they couldn't afford to have.
I agree.
I will say that Cleveland has a lot of learning to do because this is their second year that they've been a top seed, and not like a 1 seed, but this is the first year they were a 1 seed. They were a top seed the year before, and they got bounced out quick. So they have some growing up to do. I assume they'll make some moves in the off season to tighten up the bench because that's what they do need. They need some bench help. Besides Ty Jerome, nobody else ain't doing a rack of shit anyway. So Cleveland have that to figure out. But I give shout out to Indiana to the conference finals for a second straight year. Second straight year. So Halliburton growing up. Is he in superstar stage? He's on his way. If he could pull this off against the Knicks, he probably would end up in that. They probably start putting him in that superstar range. Being in the conference, being in the NBA finals, but we'll see. But a shout out to the Pacers. I didn't really had them going to the conference finals, but when you're well coached by Rick Carlisle, who also is a champion, you can't underestimate their pedigree.
Right.
They can't defend elite, but they can score elite. So we'll talk about the opposition, which is for the first time since the turn of the century, the New York Knickerbockers are back to the conference finals. Taking out Boston in 6 games. New York, besides the fact that they were playing great in this series, was blessed with an olive branch. With the olive branch in the name of Jason Tatum being out for the year. And they took their embarrassment in game 5, but they went back to the Garden and made sure that while Fat Joe, Charlemagne, Spike Lee, even Lenny Kravitz decided to come from the third world country over to New York just to watch the New York Knicks get to the conference finals.
Yeah.
You had everybody in there. And it was a sight to see. Yeah. And downtown Manhattan was looking like Philadelphia when they won the Super Bowl. For the first time since 1999, they're back to the conference finals. David, your thoughts?
Kudos to them. And all I want to say about that is thank you, Detroit Pistons. Because I'll tell you one thing. The Knicks woke up in that series. They had no choice but to wake up. Detroit was one of the most physical teams in the NBA this year. So I give kudos to them getting past. Once they got past Detroit, they got past. I knew they could have a chance of beating Boston. You know what I'm saying? That physicality that they bringing now to the game is helping them win the games that they need to win. That's why they outplayed Boston because they were more physical. I want to say, as far as the Knicks, They look really good. They look like they look like the most complete team in the out of the 4 that's left right now. Real talk. And they defense is very how Ward Clyde Frazier said, atrocious. They defense is what's up. So like I said, you know, kudos to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Kudos to them. I hope they do get past Indiana. And I think they definitely can. And at the end of the day, like I said, you know, they're forced to be reckoned with.
The reason why the Celtics have lost this series, not because of Jason Tatum injury. That was a straw that broke the camel's back. Fatigue. Think about this word, fatigue. When you've been in the finals last year and the year before that, sooner or later it's going to catch up to you. And right now, it caught up to him.
Mm.
And New York took advantage of it. And remember, New York has struggled to beat Boston until this year. And somebody's job was on the line at that time. You know who you are, Tom Thibodeau. You knew that if you don't get this done, James Dolan is going to stop you from going to the office until you get out of the building. Well, apparently, Tom Thibodeau, you survived. You kept your job. So now, what you gonna do with the Pacers? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out. We'll bring it all down. Point of being is this: for the Celtics, fatigue will catch up to you, especially when we went back-to-back NBA Finals. You lost to Denver the year before that. You won it against Dallas last year. Point of being is this: New York was a better team, and compared to the roster from last year, when they had just Josh Hart and Julius Randle, who couldn't get his mental statement ready. This time, the GM did right. Went out there and went the risk and went out to get Miles Bridges. Went out there and get Cat.
Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges. And went out there to get Cat. And still kept OG Anunoby.
Okay.
So, point being is this. They were ready for them this time. Mm. And New York knew they had to take advantage of it. And what started was when you took 2 home games away from Boston, that helped. So that's the point being. And Christian Porzingis, he was nowhere to be found.
He couldn't stay healthy to save his life.
Nah.
That was Boston's problem right there. They was unhealthy.
He was MIA. We had to put an APB out on him.
Yeah.
This is what I would say about that. This is what I would say. Boston been in the playoffs and been as far as the finals for at least the last 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Let me give y'all a little analogy so I can give y'all a little memory. Remember Kansas City?
Mm-hmm.
All them years that they've been in the playoffs, all them years that they've been in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
What caught up to them?
Fatigue.
Same thing happened with Boston. When you keep knocking at the door at the finals for so many years, and out of all of that fighting, you only got 1 Larry O'Brien trophy to show for it. He'll start catching up to you. And as they go into the off season, they're gonna have a lot of questions to answer because they are strapped when it comes to money, and they got players that has very hefty contracts that go either need to restructure or be gone.
Yep.
Well,
So
good news. Good news is with that situation is they don't have that much. They don't have that much to release. So I think Al Horford going to retire anyway. So that's the key thing.
I don't think he's gonna retire. I don't think he's gonna retire. Al Harper's too loyal. He ain't ready to retire. He ain't ready to go yet.
Yeah, but guess what? At 40 years old and you got yourself a ring,
Come on now. Come on.
it's time. I think, look, if I got a ring, it's time for me to go.
Al Harper. It's hard. It's hard to retire from stuff, bro. It's hard to let go of something that you've been doing since you was a cub. Al Harper can't let go of basketball. You got listen to when they talk to him after Boston lost to the Knicks. He ain't going nowhere. He's time for give him a 1-year deal. Give him a 1-year deal. He gonna be back at Boston.
well,
Then the main
that's
thing
what I
you gotta
would
worry
say.
about is Jaylen Brown.
This is what I would say. Jalen gonna have no choice but to stay.
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
White, I can see staying.
yes.
Horford is a question mark
Who?
because of age. I'm being realistic because of age. Porzingis, I don't know because he can't stay healthy.
Right,
Same problem in the Knicks, same problem in Dallas, and it's over here in Boston. And with that big contract that they got for him, I don't know if they're gonna keep him.
right.
Peyton Pritchard is staying. That's your sixth man of the year. That's your future piece. He ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Luke Cornett is a free agent. After what he did in game 5, you sure you want to let that go?
Yeah.
So Boston gonna have some questions. Let's move on to the West. No Steph Curry after game 1. Then after that, it was the Julius Randle and the Ant-Man show for 5 games. Ant-Man is back to the conference finals in back-to-back years. After putting a work on Golden State, beating them also in a week and a half. Lone Wolf, your thoughts on the Wolves?
Wolves did what Wolves do best, especially when you got a team that relies on one man and don't have no other shooters because Jimmy Butler tried. I ain't gonna lie to you, Jimmy Butler tried, man. But when you got no other support to help you on extra scoring, Jonathan Kuminga is all right. That one game he was all right, but he gotta be consistent. You just can't be. I'll put up 31 one game and then all of a sudden I'll just put up 17.
Okay.
Doesn't work that way. You gotta be consistent.
Why I don't?
Be, think about it. You play without Steph Curry. Steph Curry can average roughly 26, 27 points off the break. You're gonna need somebody to support the scorer with Jimmy Butler and that. Draymond Green, to me, is more like sometimes he'll get you points, sometimes he's your agitator.
Draymond
Majority of
is
the time,
out there.
he's your
Draymond is out
agitator.
there. Draymond is out there. Don't
Hold
know
on,
what the heck he's doing.
hold on. I'll pass it to you when you get. But as far as Minnesota goes, it was a good series for them. Ant-Man did right. Julius Randle, that was the best Julius Randle I've seen in a long time. Hands down. Julius Randle was turning back the clock. So kudos to the Wolves. You're up.
Oh, I didn't know what you was doing. You told
I
your
was
hand.
pointing at you.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As far as Minnesota, they are forced to be reckoned with. They are forced to be reckoned with, and they do have a bench. You got 3 people coming off that bench, and DiVincenzo and Nas Reed and Alexander, and Julius Randle has been consistent. He's been the Ant-Man gonna get his points. Ant-Man gonna get his points, no doubt. Anthony Edwards, if he and one thing I love about Anthony Edwards, even if he don't get 20, he'll get that. He'll take that 7. He'll get that 18 points, but he'll give you 12 assists and he did a triple double. He did a triple double when he didn't score 20 points. So that just goes to tell you that he has a versatile game, which I was happy to see that, especially when he played against the Lakers. And there was a game where he did that against Golden State. Kudos to Julius Randle for being consistent through the Lakers series and through the series with Golden State. Now this is their toughest task. OKC got big bodies coming up, gonna come at them, but Minnesota is some bangers. Some bangers. It's gonna be down, and what I'm gonna say about that is the only way Minnesota gonna beat OKC is the guard play.
Thank you for stepping ahead.
My bad. But I just want to say, like, Minnesota, they for real. They for real. That trade with Randle and Cat. It worked out for. We can actually say one trade that actually worked out for both teams.
Well, what I would say is I'll talk about Golden State first. They have questions that they need to answer too, because if they want to maximize Curry to give him one more run, Kuminga might be a tradable piece. So they were also talking about a possible Giannis, but having Kuminga and they got a couple first round draft picks in their arsenal too. So we'll see. As far as Jimmy goes, I could see them running it back one more year with Jimmy in it to see what happens. If they could get another big man to help Draymond Green, because Draymond Green is not that big to be a big man. So I'm just saying. But they have some question they need to address too, because Steph time is running out. And I will say for the Wolves, Ant-Man is slowly but surely trying becoming the face of the league. Will it end up being so? That'll be yet to be seen. Lone Wolf, you were saying that Julius Randle was playing the best in a long time. I will correct you, sir. This is the best Julius Randle has ever played in the playoffs ever in his career.
Yes.
When he was every time he has been in the playoffs before that, he has been choking and looking like a rat ass. Right now, he is definitely not a rat, and he is definitely not playing like ass. So, yeah, Ant-Man basically revitalized his career, and he should thank Ant-Man for that. Gobert learning how to not be in foul trouble, staying on the court. I give shout out to Gobert for that. The bench is tight. The defense is good.
Yes.
Them boys will be a problem for this OKC team that just won about 2 hours ago against the Denver Nuggets. It took the whole movie, like I told you, Lone Wolf, that it was going to take. And SGA basically showed why he is the MVP.
Yeah.
Like we thought he should be.
Yeah.
Now, NBA, he won the game. He was the best player on the floor. So you can't cheat him out of this MVP.
Yep.
As they go to the conference finals after Denver giving them a scare for 2 weeks. Can't get right your thoughts.
SGA, he definitely proved that he should be MVP. He definitely proved he should be MVP this year, no question. He played a good series, been consistent with his 20 and 30 points he's been getting per game and stuff like that. Um, kudos to Jokic and everything like that, but he just he just didn't have enough horses around him to help him get over against that OKC team. I want to say that, like I said again, OKC, they're forced to be reckoned with. And from what I've seen tonight, the way they did Denver, when all them boys is clicking, they are a problem. They are a problem. But why I say it's going to be a different series against Minnesota, because Minnesota is more physical than Denver. So my whole thing to matter is, OKC is a force to be reckoned with. SGA definitely deserves MVP. It was the MVP showdown, and he showed why he's supposed to be he should be the winner this year. And like you said, it's all up in the NBA hands. That's it. Kudos to OKC for the win tonight.
Honey,
For somebody that said, see, I said this years back when this man was with the Clippers. I said he was going to be the diamond in the rough. I said Clippers, and then the minute the Clippers traded him, I said that is a regrettable trade that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
My God. He came in 2020. My God. 5 years later, everybody laughed. Everybody laughed at me. I told him, I said, that guy's going to be a diamond in the rough. 5 years later, he about to be MVP. I said this before. And another thing I said this before, and this is on the show last week, and you probably watched it. OKC, every time OKC bench scores over 30 points, they most likely win the game.
Right.
And guess how many points they scored today off the bench?
Yeah.
37.
They went off. Mm-hmm.
And that's what you want. I told people this. I don't care. I live by this theory all the time. I don't care how good your starter is. That goes for NCAA basketball too. That bench is going to be your best friend to the end. It's either going to make you or break you. That's how the bench rolls. Now, NBA, let me send a message to you. You better not rob this man. You better not rob my diamond in the rough from this
they're
MVP.
not going to rob him, Lone Wolf. Don't worry about it. It is over.
I want to make sure that the NBA.
It is Lone Wolf. That
Yeah,
is the last thing you need to worry about. There's a reason why they waited till Game 7 for this to settle out.
And
the SGA won the battle. There is nothing to be discussed. There's nothing for you to worry about. SGA got it. So
now,
don't worry about it. It's fine.
Now that MVP belongs to him right now.
So don't worry. The NBA is not going to screw him. He is fine.
Yeah, but point of being is this. Now I want to get to now. Let's see how the Battle of the Young Guns look like first.
Well, in which way we're going to get to that, because I'm not. I really got too much to say with Denver, except for Jokic is still one of the best players in the world, but he just didn't have help.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it came to. But what I will say is, we are going to the Western Conference Finals with these two young bloods. I will do predictions tomorrow on our schedule release. I just want to know, what are you looking at in this matchup with them two? I do not want prediction. If you give me a prediction, I'm kicking you off the show. I need matchup. What are you looking at in the series? David, you first.
Jaden McDaniels versus Jalen Williams.
Hmm.
Because they both play they both play similar. Who's gonna be the more aggressive between them two? Whoever be the more aggressive between them two in each game they play, that team will win. Yeah.
Lone Wolf, interesting matchup. I got it though. What you got?
OKC bench versus Minnesota bench. I want to know which bench is going to take it to the next level.
You know what? I got another matchup too.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert versus Hartstein and Holmgren. Think about it.
I agree. Not gonna talk about superstars because they'll wash. But what you said, David, is probably where I'm leaning towards, and here's why. Gobert is not necessarily a defender that will want to play out at the 3-point line.
Right.
So
that's why he's gonna hold Hartstein.
If Holmgren can exploit that, this could be a Holmgren series. So I like that matchup that you said, the inside, the interior. You know, Wolf, I agree with you. You like talking about bench, but this gonna come down to big boys. This is gonna be a big boys game.
Yep.
Whichever big boys step up is gonna be a key of who wins this series. Let's talk about the East. Lone Wolf, what you looking at?
Pascal Siakam versus Cat.
I have to agree. That's all you gotta say?
Yep.
Can't get right?
Halliburton versus Anunoby or Mikal Bridges.
Like that. Lone Wolf, you did say something interesting, which I think you might be onto something. This could be a Cat series. Here's why. Cat is bigger than Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam.
Yep.
If he can play bully ball, Cat could be a huge reason why the Knicks make it to the NBA Finals. And that's what I'm looking at too. Besides the fact that Jalen Brunson and Halliburton has been clutch, of course, out of everybody, they'll take Jalen Brunson to be more clutch. But I think the inside, the big men, is gonna be the key in this series.
Then you know what? If you're gonna say that, then you can't leave out Mitchell Robinson. You can't leave him out.
I agree. But I'm talking about this as far as Cat being able to bang inside.
Right.
I agree with you with that, but I think this could be a Cat series.
I agree.
Now, Lone Wolf, you got some NHL. Let's cover that real fast. I know they have conference finals almost done. Unfortunately, you have to say goodbye to your to the I guess you could see the leading goal scorer.
All-time leading goal scorer. Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't get it done. Carolina took us out in 5. And most of it, I'm gonna be honest with you, most of it is because we stay in our defensive zone too long. And that's what killed us. Not to mention that Carolina stole game 1 home ice. That made it even worse. So our off season, we're gonna be looking at how to get some offense. So that's our things. That's the way I see it for that series.
Um, it shocked me that y'all lost. I thought y'all would have been able to make a run, but I guess experience matters.
Veterans.
No, we have veterans on there too. It's
But
just that
you have veterans there, but but Carolina got veterans.
Carolina got championship experience, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
It's
thing
different.
is this. The thing is this. Coach Rob Brittamore outcoached Spencer Calaberry. He outcoached him. So I give Rob Brittamore credit due. He straight up outcoached Spencer Calaberry. Next series, we are still in the East right now. That let's just say, well, the East. Oh, maybe the Panthers still playing. Western Conference.
You sound shocked, Wolf. You sound shocked.
They're still playing. But we're gonna go to the West because we've been raving about this guy. If Ovechkin can't get to the finals of Stanley Cup, this man needs to get there. His name is Connor McDavid.
One more step to go. I got nothing to say to him.
He put the Knights out in 5.
I ain't got nothing to say to him. I'm not finished.
Go ahead. So as right now, you got one more step to go.
It's not gonna be an easy one because you gotta face. I think they gotta face the winner of Toronto and Florida.
They face the Stars.
Oh,
put out the Jets.
Not gonna be easy.
Jason Robertson. Oh my God.
I ain't worrying about Jason Robertson. He's not the reason why they're this far.
Nope. Mikko Rantanen is the reason why they're far.
Right. And
the Moose.
Yep. And by the way, that presidential trophy curse is for real.
Oh, the Jets is done.
Watching this game last night.
Yeah, so, another team who got the presidential trophy has not made it to the Stanley Cup.
Yep. So that's another thing. I don't worry about Edmonton right now. Golden Knight, they got some question marks going on. They got to figure out if they're gonna keep Jack Excel for another deal.
They should.
That's what they got to figure that out.
And they really should.
Well, that's between them. That's between them and the deal going on. But next up, speaking of that, Jets and Stars, that was a matchup, and I called Stars in 6 anyway to win that game. Let's just face it. Connor Hellebuyck is one of the best goaltenders in the world. And there's times you get beat. Blocker side. Winnipeg is still got time to, how to put it this way, get to the championship. They still got time. They just got beat. They made dumb penalties in Game 6 and leaving the defender open to take the shot on the Hellback side has cost the Winnipeg Jets to go to the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Plain simple.
Here's my question.
Mhm.
Ain't Miko a champion?
Yes.
Yes, he is in
Yes,
Colorado.
he is. In
I don't have
Colorado.
nothing else to say.
Nope. So now we're
Winnipeg
down.
won a title yet?
Who? Winnipeg not won a title yet.
Miko won one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you see why they won?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There ain't nothing else to discuss. Hockey is kind of easy to dissect. Just
Very
saying.
easy. So that's all for right now. And right now, it might be Florida and Carolina in the Eastern Conference. Because Florida's up
Absolutely.
4-1.
And if that happens, it's gonna be a 7-game series between the both of them.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a 7-game
So
series.
the both of them can beat the both of them have the ability to beat each other.
Yes.
I don't see that one team giving the other team another team. I don't see no 4-1, no 4-2. I see 4-3 someplace.
I see Florida in 6.
You being too nice. I said whatever gonna happen in this series is going 7 games. They're both championship teams.
Yes, they are. Wait, who got where game 1 at?
I think
Florida, right?
Game 1 for the Stars order game 1 and 2 will be in Dallas.
No, I'm talking about Florida and Carolina play.
Game 1 and 2 will be in Carolina.
oh
Okay. And Florida's a good
Carolina is not
team.
Carolina is not an easy place to play at.
No, it's not an easy place.
But Florida get past them. I've been calling out Florida this whole season.
But do you think Florida is another place to be easy place to be at too?
Yeah. They're going for that back to back. They're going for that back to back. And it would be nice to play against Connor again.
But here's the problem. Oh, go ahead, Allie.
Oh, you go ahead, buddy.
No, you go ahead and share your thought. I'll respond to that.
Ain't really too many teams that actually went back to back in a Stanley Cup. It's really, really hard.
Yeah. But it look like that's what's about to happen. Because both teams are on the verge. On the verge. They smelling. They getting close.
Both of those teams has won a Stanley Cup at least in the last 5 years.
Uh-huh.
They both have won one within the last half a decade. So they both have championship pedigree. That's why I'm saying it's gonna go 7 games.
Carolina has not won Carolina has not won a Stanley Cup championship since 2006.
6, 7. Yeah, I'm about to say 6 or 7. Yeah.
That's when Rob Brind'Amour at the time was a player.
But like I said, you got guys with championship experience. You got guys with experience on Carolina. You got guys with experience with Florida. It's going to be a good defensive game.
I think that series going 7, and I think Connor gonna have to go through 7 games no matter who comes out.
Absolutely.
Dallas gonna give them hell. 7.
Hell yeah.
Let me see.
But go ahead, buddy.
Who was on that roster? Eric Stahl was on that roster. I remember that. Eric Stahl was on that roster. Mike Commodore. They had a debt miner by the name of Martin Gerber. So, yeah. Carolina, last time they won was almost 19 years ago.
Okay, I don't know why I thought that they just recently won a title. But I think both games in the conference finals gonna be some long series because they both got familiarity with each other. They both got experience. It's all gonna come down to who make the most mistakes. Same thing with the NBA. It's gonna come down to who make the most mistakes. But we're gonna make our predictions. We're gonna make our predictions tomorrow before all these conference finals get started. And like I said, we're doing a two-part, like a double-header show for y'all. So even though it only took like 45 minutes to us to knock out the whole what we wanted to knock out, tomorrow we're gonna be on for at least an hour because we want to talk about. We're gonna dissect this NFL schedule. I know some people in the NFC East want to talk about their schedule, but we're not gonna go ahead and blow their head up so early. Okay, so we will talk about the team like the NFC East, the NFC North, South. We'll basically cover all the division with their schedules tomorrow. So stay tuned tomorrow night. We're gonna have a whole show, nothing with the NFL. Start talking predictions, how much wins, start getting y'all wagers in for wins of the season and all that good stuff. But for now, Lone Wolf, take me home, please.
There you go.
So, like I said, tomorrow night we'll be back on here 8:30. We'll go ahead and talk about the NFL schedule. You got a double dip of the report. Usually we'll just be on for a week because after the NBA final, we have a little off season before we come back on in September. So enjoy us now because the report is only on for at least another, I'll say like another month because after the finals, we're out for the off season. So until then, can't get right. Lone Wolf, this is yours truly. Till tomorrow night, you got a double dip on the report. Be happy, be blessed. Take care of each other. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.
Good night, everyone.